right, so for those of you who are not old enough to know what this shit means, this is 1998, computers look like that. Bill Clinton was famous for all the wrong reasons, and 300 million people were crying in cinemas when Kate kissed Leonardo. So this is 98, and this is where the story starts. I'm in a small town in Romania, preparing to go to college, and then I discovered this thing that almost ruined my career because I was spending like 7 hours per day for 7 years playing Championship Manager 1998. It's a game where you don't even play football. Do you realize how lame that is? You don't even get to play football. You just see talent listed and then you invest in fantasy talent, bring them to your fantasy club, and making fantasy money. That's how lame I was. Now, back to these days. You know what's the largest market on earth? Like the largest market? I didn't, because I'm not from this vertical. It's football. 5 billion people love this thing. I have no idea why. I don't even watch football. But this is fascinating because 5 billion people love one thing. You cannot get the humankind to agree on anything, but somehow 5 billion people agreed that they love this. Now, the problem with this is you have 5 billion people who get a remote control and no control. You invest decades of your life in your favorite club, buying a lot of stuff, and then you draw the line. What do you own? Nothing. Nothing. That's the problem we're trying to fix. We want to turn football fans into football investors in seconds. That's never been possible before. So welcome to Nordensa, the first stock market for sports. You can invest in football players, you can invest soon in football clubs, and then for those of you who hate football, in all the other weird sports that they love in different parts of the world. Now, fans get 8% of the player's salary for 5 years. That's how it works. You invest 30 bucks, and then you get a percentage of the player's salary. We scout some of the greatest talent out there, we list them, people from all over the world invest. Now, it's a three-sided marketplace. Fans finally get a chance to invest in football. That was never possible before. Players get a chance to be noticed, and clubs get free talent. Who can refuse that? Now, it's crazy to believe that you can build a unicorn in 5 years in football, right? Yeah, it is, but these guys did it already in the last 5 years. 3 billion valuation, less than 5 years. You're probably familiar with them. What they do is fantasy stuff. So what we're doing is the real stuff. When you play on Sorare, you invest in NFTs. Pictures of players, literally. Sorry,
time is over.
That fast?
Yes. Yeah. Judges?
So, yeah, that's pretty much it then. I'll just show you the team because that's important.
Judges,
Chief
5 minutes for you.
And so on. Questions? How do you make money? I know, that's a tough one.
Thank you. So, one question. How does somebody decide to invest in a football player that he or she absolutely doesn't know?
This is the reason. We have some of the top scouts in the world. So when we list a player, you know that that's a top talent.
Right, but like you probably need volume as well. So you can't be extremely picky on the talent that you are choosing.
We're extremely picky because we have data about 600,000 players that's available. And we know every single pass they ever made, every single hit they ever made, everything. So we can be picky. And we only need like 60, 70 per year.
All right. So let's think about this the other way around. And let's answer the question that you ask yourself. Like, how do you make money?
Freemium. It's a subscription model. We're introducing a subscription where you get access to the players you invest in. So you'll have streaming weekly with the kid, and then they'll talk to you. So basically you enter the entourage of the player, which was never available in football before.
All right.
So it'll be free to invest in players, but if you want this personal access to the players you invest in, you're paying $5 per month.
And out of the investment transaction, do you make any money on that? On the
Come
actual,
again? Sorry?
on the actual investment transaction, do you make any money?
We are making 10% of all the money we raise, but that's not really important for us. That's just to cover costs. What's important is to get hundreds of thousands of people to pay $5 per month. That's how we build a unicorn. That's how the other guys did it as well.
All right. So just to be clear on the numbers, if you want to reach a 3 billion valuation, you probably need 300 million ARR with $65 a month, 12 months a year means $60 a year. So you need around 5 million paying users per month.
We need about 400,000 paying users per month to generate about 8 million euro per month.
All right.
Because we have 5 revenue streams, 2 of them are subscriptions, 1 of them is services, 1 of them is transaction fees, 1 of them is sponsorships. So it adds up, but the main profit generation is the subscriptions.
All right. Have you launched this? How is it going?
Yeah, we launched it 2 months ago, and in the first month we got 40K worth of assets being sold with 0 marketing budget. So there's a lot of hunger for people to invest in football.
What does assets mean?
Sorry?
What does assets mean?
Assets means football players listed, 40K worth of them, of assets. Basically, we are raising money to pay for their trials in Europe.
Got it. So in the revenue that you get, your subscriptions, how much is that?
Oh, we haven't launched subscriptions yet
Right.
because we don't want to rush it. We need to build those features. We just launched 2 months ago. We spent like 4 months with Deloitte to build a framework, legal framework. You can imagine it's a new thing worldwide, so we had to be careful with these things. So we have the green light. We got coverage in big media. Now we can scale up.
Congrats for the idea. I understood that you are the first to offer this access to invest in football players in the world. How difficult would it be for someone with big pockets to follow your idea and to move faster than you?
We have about 9 months ahead of anyone else because we have this team already. We have money. I mean, we already have commitment for quite a lot of money, so we're good for the next year. And we have the framework ready. That takes time until we find the right model because it's a difficult market. So about 9 months. We are just planning to scale up really fast.
How are you paying these guys?
Not only we're paying them, but these crazy dudes gave up Arsenal and Bayern for Nordensa, if you can believe it. Initially they entered as consultants, and now they're full-time with us, a lot of them. So, madmen. They are co-founders. They have equity in the company. So, yeah, we can afford them.
What is more convenient for a young football player? And I'm not between the 5 billion people. Like, I don't really know that much football. What is more convenient for a football player if probably they're, let's say, from Africa or for somewhere, some lost village in Eastern Europe, and they dream of going to a big club. Mm-hmm. So they have, like, one option is to fundraise on this platform, mm-hmm. and the other option would be to try to pitch themselves directly to a big club so they can get a scholarship or something like that.
That never works, unfortunately.
All right.
The only other option is agents. And the agent's business can be a pretty dirty thing sometimes. So there's a lot of abuse, especially in Africa. Agents don't have the players' interest at heart often. So your only chance is either you get a good agent or it's not looking good. And that's why it was important to get this good scouting team, because we want to make sure that if you work hard enough and you're good, we'll see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nordensa.